Morning, everyone. Welcome to another This Might Hurt. Happy Tuesday to you. I'm feeling a little bit better today. A little more myself, which is always nice. I had a kind of an off day yesterday, but that's okay. And so it goes, right? We are into the second decan of Aries, which is represented by the Three of Wands. And I was just listening to Carrie's explanation of all the different Three of Wands, and I thought it was interesting because I've always seen the Three of Wands as ships coming in, and I did get a little what do you want to call it, a little oof when she said that she is not a fan of people interpreting the card that way, that she sees it as ships going out. But anyway, I'm only halfway through it, so it's very interesting. She's very knowledgeable about the history of the cards and the stories and so forth, and in ways that I am not. But again, I have to remind myself that Spirit speaks your language. He'll show you the card that he wants you to interpret your way, right? So everyone is uniquely different. But I love the deck and walk because I'm actually getting to go through card by card, which is something I've never done. I probably should have, or could have. I don't shit on myself, but could have gone through each card for a few days and really sat with it to see what the energy of that card is and speaks to me. So with that being said, should the Three of Wands show up, who knows what's going to show up for me. Now that I have new information, it's like I have to update my my translation guide to Spirit, Source, God, Creator, Universe, so that he can continue, or she can continue, or it can continue to speak my language to me. But that being said, let's get the energies for today. Energies for today. Energy for today. You know, it's interesting at work. We had like 5 people out sick yesterday. It was really weird. Like everybody's sick. So we've got Justice in the reverse. Justice is the balance, right? The Libra, the sword of justice, I guess. I mean, I don't know what other words you can use there, but in the upright it would be truth, accountability, and fairness. Whereas in reverse, it would be denial, dishonesty, and imbalance. So I don't know that I necessarily see it as dishonesty or denial as much as I see it as an injustice, a imbalance of power, if you will. There's a power struggle happening that is not a fair fight, if you will. I guess you would say it's funny because I do these good morning texts to my family and friends, and I always give it a different theme, right? And today I had chose to give it the theme of flying monkeys, and that's what I feel like this is, right? When you're in a relationship or have a relationship with someone who is the controller, the person who has to have it their way, then they will typically gather an army against you. And I feel like that's what this is. And I kept getting this word in my head this whole time in my situation, because I'm currently in that situation. The cheese stands alone, right? So the farmer in the dell, everybody has a partner except for the cheese stands alone. And I felt like that oftentimes in my life, where I have stood up for something seemingly injustice, right? I have called out an injustice, and it has left me standing alone because the person who committed the injustice, if you will, does not want to own their shit. So they gather an army against you, right? And we call that army flying monkeys. And if you know anything about Dr. Ramani, narcissism, and so forth, that's what they do, right? Because they can't stand alone. They don't know how to stand alone. So the person usually who is fighting for justice typically ends up standing alone. And I was telling my group, my people, you know, I'm kind of tired of that. Like, kind of tired of it, but it is what it is. It's the path I chose. So let's keep going. After justice, what do we get after justice? Or injustice, as the case may be. We've got the Nine of Wands in the reverse and the Ace of Swords in reverse. So a lot of reversals. I'm just seeing it as imbalance, right? Imbalanced energy. Nine of Wands being the boundaries, right? Maybe we're having to put up the boundaries that are so strong that we can't even think anymore, right? We're not letting anybody in. We have been wronged and stood against, and the cheese stands alone in the whole 9 yards, that, you know what, stay away. I don't want to be hurt again, right? And sometimes that can create some solitude, some things that we don't want to deal with anymore, right? We're burnt out. We're done. We're burnt out. I'm tired of this. And you just start to put the walls up, right, to the Ace of Swords in the reverse. So aces are usually that burst of new, and swords are thoughts and words. And maybe this is just kind of ruminating on the same old thing, like just what I just did. Like I just literally just showed you, repeating those patterns, and if I'm being honest, a little bit of that victim mentality, right? It's definitely not healed mentality, right? So it would be confusion and denial, and I do not want to see the good yet, right? I don't want to see the good yet. I'm just going to continue to perpetuate this thought in my head. I stand up for justice. Flying monkeys come around me. I do the big walls, and then wash, rinse, repeat, right? I'm not trying to think of it in a new way. Or we're not trying to think of it in a new way, I guess. I'm trying to use myself as an example to explain the energies, but just that rumination, I think, really, right? And then the energy is there for it, but denying doing it, but trying to think of things in a new way. Can you think of things in a new way? Let's get the next card. One more card. Come on. One more. Our video's running out. With 3 of Cups on the side. So not even sure if you want to have another community, right? Because is the new one coming in? Is the old one leaving? But we're kind of in that liminal phase in between. Because community is what we do, right? It's what humans are wired for. We have to have connection, right? I tell my clients all the time, the opposite of addiction is connection. And when you don't have that connection is when you overthink. It's when you build up all these walls, right? You have this one way of thinking about things. You don't get the collective perspective, if you will, in whatever situation you happen to be in. So we have to, where our woolly mammoth is wired for connection. So the new one is coming, right? But the old one hasn't left yet, and you're kind of stuck in that middle phase. So what's the advice? What's the advice? The Empress in the reverse. Little codependency. If I was to interpret this as, I often get stuck when it's a seemingly bad card as the advice, but maybe it's about understanding that other people suffer from codependency. Other people have blocked creativity. Other people are depleted. Or understanding that you are, and knowing what to do about it, right? Because in the upright, it would be self-care, it would be nurturing, it would be compassion. But there's a lack of that here. Maybe there's too much. Maybe there's too much going on with the walls and the being alone and stuff. Maybe it's time to make a new friend. Make a new friend. What you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. So this would be all reversals today. Interesting. But this would be mastery of your craft, right? All of those pentacles are exactly the same shape, size, everything. He's just mastered it. He could do it in his sleep. But this is something new that you have to learn, understand, if you will, master. Haven't quite mastered it yet, but we're on our way to. It's something we're going to have to do. And we did it before, so we know we can do it again, right? Our woolly mammoth doesn't like unfamiliar, but we just remind him that, hey, we've survived 100% of our situations, so why would this be any different, right? Learn that something new, a new way to master your craft, if you will, and to spend your resources, right? Your resources being your time, your attention, your energy, not so much your money. I do believe this is less about money because he's actually creating them himself, right? And one could argue that in the upright, it is do what you love and the money will follow. But maybe try something new, master something new. That feeling might come up for you today at some point. All right, guys, I'm running out of time. I'm going to leave it there. You take care. We'll chat tomorrow.